हाम्रो के रे के रञ्जित okay. Okay, yesterday I had assigned for presentation to what Ranjit?
Jasmine.
Huh?
Jasmine.
No? Presenter is not present कि क्या हो?
कसलाई भन्नुभएको थियो सर?
हाँ?
होइन छ।
ए के रञ्जित भन्ने थियो के?
Jasmine Ranjit.
Yes, Jasmine Ranjit Kar. Hey, are you there? I was searching to you. Jasmine, do you have your any slide?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you begin now? Okay, Jasmine, begin. Jasmine Ranjit Kar. Okay, Jasmine.
सर भएको
सुरु गर तिम्रो त्यो स्लाइड सेयर गर हजुर
Good morning, everyone. It's me, Jasmine Ranjit Kar, and today I am here to do a presentation on strategic planning. So, what is strategic planning? Strategic planning is an organizational management. Sir?
Santoshi, what happened?
Screen share
screen share गर त Jasmine. भयो छैन कसरी गर्यौ त शेयरमा जाऊ न के ल्यापटपमा के हो मोबाइल हो त्यो शेयर गर अनि फाइल सेभ हो अब हुन्छ भयो यस 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 ल अब टेक्स्टमा जाऊ न गुड गुड yes.
Good morning, everyone. It's me, Jasmine Ranjit Kar, and today I am here to do a presentation on strategic planning. What is strategic planning? Strategic planning is an organizational management activity that is used to set priorities, focus energy and resources, strengthen operations, ensure that employees and other stakeholders are working toward common goals, establish agreement around intended outcomes, and assess and adjust the organization's direction in response to a changing environment. It is a disciplined effort that produces fundamental decisions and actions that shape and guide what an organization is, who it serves, what it does, and why it does it, with a focus on the future. Effective strategic planning articulates not only where an organization is going and the actions needed to make progress, but also how it will know if it is successful. Steps of strategic planning. Analyze the organization's internal and external environment. Conduct a stakeholder assessment. define the purpose of the organization, clarify values important to the organization, set the goals and objectives, communicate the goals and objectives to the constituents, identify strategies by setting timelines and tasks, estimate and allocate resources, develop and communicate a marketing or business plan, establish a system for the implementation and monitoring of policies, procedures, and rules, establish a system for exchanging information and building consensus, provide a mechanism for evaluation. So the three key fundamentals to strategic planning are: number one, evaluate where you stand now. This is the most important factor of strategic planning. It is the information gathering stage of planning. It's time to gather all your facts and figures. A full understanding of your organization is clear, including internal operations, overall role in profitability, and comparison to competitors. Number two, pinpoint your goals. Another fundamental factor of strategic planning is pinpointing the goals. It is just like with objectives or dreams of the organization. It is a simple process to map out your entire life, including your dreams, goals, and bottlenecks. It gives the answer of the following questions: where do you see yourself in 5 years? Or how about 10 years? Number three, design the path. Third key fundamental of strategic planning is to design the path. Path is a creative process for strategic planning. It encourages participants to visualize a future based on shared values and beliefs. A perfect path helps individuals and organizations identify their vision of the ideal future and develop a plan for achieving it. Thank you. Third,
Jasmine, how did you present, got that all information? You search in Google?
yes, sir.
Good, good, good. Okay, strategic planning, it is comprehensive master plan. Okay. Before that, how do we define strategy? What is strategy? Simply, in Nepali, what do we call? Strategy भने के हो? नेपालीमा यसलाई के भन्छन्? हेलो सन्तोषी,
Yes, sir.
के हो स्ट्राटेजी भने के हो? नेपालीमा के भन्छन् यसलाई?
Strategy भनेको
रञ्जित भन्दा बाबु रञ्जित. What is called strategy? What does it mean, strategy in Nepali? Simply. खोइ. Bhabin? Yes, रणनीति. Yes. रणनीति भने के हो नि? रण भने के हो? Simple word meaning, etymological meaning of the strategy. के होला? रणनीति हैन. रणनीति भनेको चाहिँ रण भनेको चाहिँ युद्ध भयो हैन. नीति भनेको चाहिँ युद्ध नीति के. युद्ध कसरी गर्ने? Okay. What is the historical background of using the word strategy? Strategy word was used for the first time in this world during the Second World War. Okay, listen everyone. Strategy word was used during Second World War for the first time in this world. And strategy is simply known as the Rananiti. It means what? Policy for war. Okay, policy for war. What does it mean? That during the Second World War, You know that different countries of the world, especially allied nations, under the leadership of America, England, and other different countries, they were fighting against Germany and its alliances. And during that time, England had involvement in the war in the large number of countries, far and wide. And you know that at that time, different countries who were participating in the war, they had to face the challenge of the war in hundreds of war fronts with their limited arms and ammunitions, with their limited number of soldiers, with their limited that provisions for the soldiers and other different warfare activities. In such a situation, it was quite difficult to allocate the available number of soldiers, available number of that arms and ammunitions, and available required that warfare that materials in all war fronts proportionately. In such a situation, it was great challenge for the countries to allocate such resources so that those countries can compete with the competitors and they would win the war. In such a situation, that was great challenge, and different mathematicians and scientists of UK, they identified the methods of allocation of the resources or developing the strategy for allocation resources so as the competitors can be easily defeated in the war fronts. And that policy which was firstly used in the war, so that it was called strategic plan. And later on, during the period of 21st century, in this century, we are facing the great challenge of the business organizations, and that challenges are based on the competitions. Competitors are increasing day by day, and competitive strength, to develop the competitive strength, we must have to utilize our resources, available resources for the optimum use, so as we can cope with the environmental challenges and we can achieve the long-term goal of the organization. So as our main concentration is what? Organizational strategic planning is related with the preparation of the comprehensive plan, master plan, which is stating how the organization will achieve its mission and objectives. It is to be clearly defined. So as strategic plans derive the organization's efforts into the reality, and strategic planning concerns with the focus on the organizations as a whole in a dynamic and long-term planning. And environmental factors are changing day by day, and various types of internal and external environmental forces create challenges at every time. In such a situation, it is great challenge for the organization to cope with the environmental challenges, and by utilizing the internal strengths of the organization, how can we achieve the goal? It is great challenge. So that strategic planning have great role for the organizational development, organizational goal achievement, and it is most important in the business environment to cope with the challenging with the business environment. So as strategic planning focuses on the environmental scanning to analyze the opportunities and threats that may arise due to the changing environmental situation, and strategic planning process consists of the collection of the information from the environment, developing the mission. Okay, listen here. What are the process of strategic planning? The major process of strategic planning is collection of the information from the environment, developing the mission, setting the objectives, determining strategies, and preparing portfolio plan. These are the major steps of strategic planning. And how the strategic planning is defined by different scholars? We know that different scholars define strategic planning in a comprehensive way. And you can see there, strategic plan is a general plan outlining decision of resource allocation, setting up of the priorities, and action steps necessary to reach the strategic goal. So as strategic planning is the master plan or general plan which gives the clear outline of the decision of allocating the resources in all priority areas. And what are the priority areas? The setting up of the priority areas are also based on the strategic planning. And to allocate the resources in a particular area, what resources, how resources, and what resources can be utilized, and that resources to be will be utilized properly so as the strategic goals can be achieved. So that this is the most important factor in the strategic planning, where it involves in the review of market condition, that is the environmental condition. You can see there, market condition consists of the customer's needs, competitive strengths and weaknesses, and you can see there socio-political, legal, economic conditions of the country, of the business environment, technological development, and availability of resources that lead to the specific opportunities or threats. So as these are the different definitions which are given by the different scholars, Ricky W. Griffin, Ivan Sevig Tonley, or other different scholars, whose definition reflect that strategic plans are the comprehensive plan. We can conclude that strategic plans are the comprehensive plan, which plans make organization's effort more effective to achieve the organizational goal in the existing uncertain business environment. So that strategic planning focuses on the analyzing the business opportunity and threats, and in such a type of business environmental condition, what sort of the resource allocation strategy to be adopted, and what sort of mission to be set up, what's goal to be there, and what can be the objectives, and how do we develop the strategies so that those objectives can be achieved through the utilization of the available means and resources, and preparing the portfolio plan. Portfolio plan refers to the developing plan according to the different departments. All these concentrated with the strategic planning. So that in the context of strategic planning plans, meaning it is great important in the organizational management process. And what are the major Jasmine has already mentioned that strategic planning has major three aspects. One aspect is the collection of the information of the environment. Okay, collection of the environmental information to be collected, and that information is to be analyzed. After that, what should we do? We have to carry out the setting up of the mission and vision and objectives. What the vision is, what the mission, what are the objectives, and how those mission, vision, and objectives can be achieved through the strategy. And these are the major components of the strategic planning. So here our concentration is what? There are several components of the strategic planning. Among them, most important component is the vision. Okay, you can see here, vision is a statement that explains the long-term destination of the organization. It is a picture of the organization. After certain years, where will be the organization? After 5 years or after 10 years? And what will be the aspiration of the customers, and how many customers will be there? What sort of technology we will use at that time? All these are mentioned by the vision. It is a statement that reflects the long-term destination of the organization. So that while we analyze the environmental situation, then we begin to set up the vision. And the vision shows the destination. The vision statements are meant to stretch an organization by articulating some ambitious and attainable future position. It means what? Vision also motivates the employees, and vision takes the organization towards the certain destination, so that will certainly help to motivate and devote their employees' efforts for achieving the goal by using their best ability. So that vision specifies them what the strategy is meant to achieve. होइन, भिजनले के गर्छ त अर्गनाइजेसनको चाहिँ स्ट्राटेजी के हुनसक्छ, के अचिभ गर्ने हो भन्ने कुरालाई क्लियर गराउँछ र भिजनले के गर्छ अर्गनाइजेसनको फ्युचरको चाहिँ पिक्चर देखाउँछ हैन। अब त्यो भिजन अनुसार के हुनु पर्यो त, यु हेभ टु सेट द मिसन। व्हाट इज द मिसन? मिसन इज द रिजन बिहाइन्ड द एक्जिस्टेन्स अफ द अर्गनाइजेसन and functioning of an organization. Why your organization? Why there are many organizations in the market, then why similar type of organization you want to establish? It is to be clarified by the mission. Okay, so that our main concentration is what? Mission is the reason of the existence and functioning of an organization. It clarifies. Mission clarifies. Organization wants to provide the society product or service. What sort of product or service we want to provide to the society? It clarifies by the mission. So that mission is most important thing, and it involves nature of the business organization and types of customers you want to serve or subscribe. So that mission clarifies the organization's destination, and mission of the organization tells who we are, what we do, as well as what we would like to become in the future. So that it is developed by the top level management. It defines fundamental unique purpose that sets organization apart from other organizations of similar type. It means what? Mission clarifies the organization's identity, and it involves the company's philosophy about how it does business and treats its employees. All these are factors related to the mission of the organization. And after setting up of the mission, we have to set the goals or objectives. And what about the vision? Accordingly, we set up the mission. What is our mission? According to what we have to set up the objectives. So that objectives are planned results to be achieved in the short term and long term period. What does it mean? That objectives or goals are the destinations that organization plans to reach. So that goals specify what is to be accomplished and what should be shown in the quantitative terms. That should be shown in the quantitative terms. So that objectives must be smart. We have already known previously. Objectives must be smart. That means what? Objectives must be specific. Objective must be measurable. Objective must be achievable. Objective must be realistic and time bound. We have already discussed. And objectives mustn't be the most or high optimistic, and that should not have the high ambition. So that there must be the consistency with the mission of the organization, and objectives must be realistic according to the background of the organization. And you know that while we are setting up of the objectives, then we develop the strategy, how those objectives can be achieved, and it is through the strategy. And you can see here, strategy is a comprehensive master plan stating how our organization will achieve its mission and objectives. It determines the basic long-term objectives of the organization. So that strategies are that comprehensive plan which are prepared from the environmental scanning to the developing master plan, environmental scanning, setting up of the vision, defining the mission, setting up of the objectives, developing strategy, and implementation and evaluation. These are the major steps of the strategic planning. So that our main concentration is what? After setting up of the objectives, we prepare strategy, and strategy is a comprehensive master plan, and in that master plan we have to explain that how organization will achieve its mission and objectives. And it determines the basic long-term objectives of the organization and adoption of course of action and allocation of resources necessary to achieve the goals. So that how the organizational goal can be achieved and what are the long-term objectives of the organization and what strategies focus in the long term, and it mostly carries out the environmental scanning and integrated approach for the organization and supports meeting challenges and created by the organization. It means what? Strategic planning creates that environment in the business, creates the better opportunity in the business by analyzing the environmental situation, and we identify the environmental that challenges and environmental challenges, and we also focus on that challenges to be that faced by the organization and what strategy, what resources are available, and all these factors are concentrated in the strategic planning. And after preparation of the strategic plan, we implement it, and after implementation, whether the strategies are successful to achieve the organizational goal, to achieve the mission of the organization, then that strategy will be more meaningful, and we go on continuing the implementation of the strategy. Otherwise, the strategy may not work, then we again go for the revision, new cycle of the strategy planning. So that these are the concentration with the strategy planning. Okay. And how the strategy planning are related with the tactical plan. Okay, listen in. How the strategic planning are related to the tactical plan. Our main concentration is here, and we'll discuss tomorrow that how the strategic plannings are related with the tactical plan. We'll discuss tomorrow है त आजलाई हामी यति गर्छौं र भोलि हामी के गर्ने भयौं भोलि हामी चाहिँ रिलेशनशिप बिट्विन tactical plan and strategic plan हामी डिस्कस गर्छौं okay hello, are you listening?
Yes, sir.
Okay, भोलि हामी
Yes, sir.
strategic plan र tactical plan को relationship को बारेमा डिस्कस गर्छौं है त
Yes, sir.
It is very much important that subtitle strategic planning. It is frequently asking in the board examination as well, and it is very much useful in the real life also. Okay, thank you. This much for today. Bye bye.